Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ask Me Anything, where we explore the questions that live in the messy, nuanced parts of being human. I'm Kira, and every Monday we carve out space for honesty, reflection, and radical acceptance. No shame, no masks, just the truth of where we're at and who we're becoming. Today's question comes from Astrid, and I just want to start by saying, Astrid, thank you. You've named something here that so many of us experience, but often don't know how to articulate. She writes, what can I do to remain emotionally engaged during conflicts with others rather than detaching by convincing myself it doesn't matter or making it a purely logical debate? In these instances, I think I might get overwhelmed with emotion and I find myself shutting down and just not feeling my way through an argument, apology, or resolution, especially when I'm the one that needs to listen to the point of view, explanation, or apology. All right, let's unpack this. I want to start by saying, Astrid, let's reflect on how powerful it is that you've already identified the patterns showing up for you in conflict. That's huge. The ability to notice your emotional detachment in the moment or even after the fact is a sign of self-awareness that many people struggle to develop. You're not just reacting, you're watching your own process. That's where change starts. And what we're describing here, detaching, numbing, going logical, telling yourself it doesn't matter, those are protectors. They're defense mechanisms, and not because you're broken or avoidant or bad at conflict. They exist because somewhere along the way, your system learned that conflict wasn't safe. So I want to bring in a little bit of internal family systems, or IFS here, which if you're new to it, it's a model that helps us understand the different parts of us that show up to protect our core self. In moments of conflict, especially when emotions run high, it's common for what IFS would call a manager part to step in. In your case, Astrid, this might be the logic manager, the part that intellectualizes the conflict, rationalizes the other person's behavior, or decides it's just not worth the emotional energy. Another part might be the shutdown protector, the one that helps you numb out when emotions start to rise too fast. What both of these parts are trying to do is to protect a more vulnerable part inside of you. Maybe a younger version of yourself who was shamed for being emotional, punished for speaking up, or overwhelmed by conflict that felt chaotic or out of control. So rather than relive that experience, your system says, let's keep this safe and clean. Shut it down, stay logical, get out of the feeling space. That's not avoidance, that's survival. But now as an adult, you're seeing that the survival strategy is costing you connection. You want to stay emotionally engaged. You want to stay present. So let's talk about how to actually do that. Step 1, ground first, engage second. Before you even try to stay present in a conflict, you've got to anchor into your body. When we're overwhelmed, our nervous system goes into survival mode: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. You might be slipping into freeze or fawn. Use grounding strategies to bring yourself back online. You can try naming 5 things that you see, hear, or feel in that area. Press your feet into the floor and focus on the contact. Or take a deep breath through your nose and exhale longer than you inhale to calm the vagus nerve. This gives your emotional system the message, I'm safe. I can stay here. 2, build distress tolerance in small doses. You don't have to stay in all the emotion at once. Try emotional pacing, allowing just enough feeling to stay connected without flooding your system. Practice sitting with mild discomfort in non-conflict situations. For example, can you listen to someone share frustration with you without jumping to fix or numb? Can you sit with guilt or shame for a few seconds without justifying or pushing it away? Start there. This builds your tolerance like a muscle. Step 3, reconnect with the inner child part that felt unsafe in the first place. This is deep work, but it is so worth it. Ask yourself, when did I first learn that conflict wasn't safe? Whose voice am I trying to avoid hearing? What would that younger version of me have needed in those moments of tension? Bring compassion to that version of yourself. Let her know, we're not in that place anymore. I can handle this now. You can even visualize her in the room during conflict and tell her that she's okay. You've got her. And number 4, practice what it feels like to stay, not fix. When someone is apologizing or explaining and you feel the urge to detach, pause. Place a hand on your heart and say to yourself, I don't need to fix this. I just need to be here. Let yourself feel without reacting. That's emotional engagement. Now, one final thing, Astrid, and this is important. Conflict isn't just about hearing someone else's perspective. It's also about allowing yourself to matter. When you detach, you're often abandoning your own emotional experience in the name of peace or logic. But you don't need to disappear to keep the peace. You can stay and still be safe. You can feel and still be worthy of love. This is what healing looks like. Not doing it perfectly, but choosing to stay with yourself even when it's hard. So let's sum this up. Here's our key takeaways. First, the part of you that detaches during conflict is a protector, not a problem. Second, that part is likely guarding a younger version of you who didn't feel safe in emotional spaces. 3, grounding, pacing, and inner child work can help you build capacity to stay engaged. And 4, you don't have to fix conflict. You just have to stay with yourself through it. Astrid, thank you again for your question, your self-awareness, and your bravery in bringing this forward. You're already doing great work, and I hope this gives you both permission and a path to keep going. And for everyone else listening, if this resonates or if you've got your own questions stirring inside of you, I'd love to hear it. You can submit anonymously or with your name using the link in the show notes below. These are the conversations that remind us we're not alone, that we're growing together, and that staying present with ourselves, especially in hard moments, is the work. So until next time, be with yourself, take that deep breath in, and ground yourself in this journey of shame resilience, because I promise you, we are in this together.